Brethren, I pray you sing a new song. Sing praise in the assembly of the righteous. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let the high praise of God be on the mouths of the saints and a two-edged sword in their hands to execute vengeance on the demonic nations and punishments on those peoples, to bind their kings with chains. This honor have all his saints. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Sing to him a new song.
Bro, you got a question? What's your name? Jeff? All right, bet. So we're gonna have a conversation. You know, if I ask you a question, if you can answer it, and then vice versa. If you ask me a question, if I can answer it, I answer it. But more than likely, it's gonna come out of the Bible, right? So if I asked you, who are you, or like, what's your race? What would you say? You say what? So you got different nationalities. All right, so give me numbers 1 to 18. So that ain't a bad answer. That's what we was taught. Because for the longest, I thought I was mixed. You know, I thought I had multiple nationalities. But according to the Bible, that they spit to us in church, they don't bring this out. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you something real quick. Because if you ever read the Bible, I don't know if you ever read the Bible. When I was little, I tried to read it, and I'm like, bro, why is it just listing all these names? You know, why do I need this information? You know, what is this? It's hard for me to understand this. I don't get it. So come to find out, when it gives you the genealogies, it gives you the son of him, the son of him, the son of him, the son of him, because it always go off the man. Now read this real quick, 1 and 18.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day.
All right, so in the book of Numbers, you got all the men of Israel assembling together.
Of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees.
They declared their pedigrees by what?
After their families, by the house of their fathers.
So they declared their pedigrees. You know what a pedigree is? So sometimes when you read in the Bible, you got to go look words up. It can get tiresome. It can get wearisome. You're like, damn, I don't know shit, you know? But pedigree is a family tree. That's all it is. It's your lineage. It's your bloodline, for lack of better terms. So read that part right there again. Their pedigrees after what?
Slut. And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
So that's how you determine who you are, by the house of your forefather. You know, because the man carries the seed. You know, a lot of people look at women and, mother, what they say? Mother Earth. They say shit like that. But when you really look at it on a logical standpoint, the man walks around and he carries the seed. Then he shoots the seed into the woman, and her womb nurtures it and matures it. But you came from your father, nigga. You are your daddy's son. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. So when I ask you your nationality, it goes by what? It go off your dad. So who is your dad? So he Jeff Sr. Is Jeff Sr., is he a so-called Negro? Is he a white man? Is he Hispanic? What is he? He a Negro? So I'm going to show you something now. Now I'm going to show you something. You got to pay attention. You got to actually want to receive it. Because if you don't want to receive it, it's going to be like I'm just talking for no reason. So we're going to deal with it. Go to Deuteronomy. We're going to kick it off like that. Yeah, start at 1 and 1.
Heads up!
Heads up! They ain't talking about nothing. Yeah, give me that.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 1.
These be the words.
Salak. So, hey, you got what's called the Torah, right? And the Bible is many books. The first 5 is called the Torah, and they was all written by Moses. You know about Moses. And common knowledge. Everybody know about Moses. So Moses was telling this to the Israelites. So when I read you certain stuff out of Deuteronomy, you got to know who that was directed towards. So read 1 and 1 real quick, and then jump to 7 and 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
All right. So this is the words that Moses was speaking to the Israelites. And right now what I'm going to show you is that you are an Israelite. You're not a Christian. We don't deal with religion. We don't deal with philosophies. We strictly deal with the Bible. The Bible is not a religion. But people will use the Bible to make a religion, if that makes sense. That makes sense? So I'm going to show you right now that you one of the chosen people. So watch this. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. And the Lord has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Khan, Salak, what's going on? You just walking through?
What's up, young brother? Brother.
All right, Khan. Shalom. Salak, hold on. So what I just showed you is that the Most High just said that he got a chosen people. They better than everybody on the earth. So when you go into the churches, these Christian churches, they won't show you this verse. You know, they'll tell you that everybody equal. But according to the Bible, everybody is not equal. You know, he set some man up to be on top of the world and to rule over everybody. Hey, you can see from day to day that you live your life that everybody is not equal. Are you looked at like a king? No, you looked at as you something small. Everybody is not equal. So that's just to prove the point that the Bible say. We can see it all throughout the world that everybody is not equal. A white man and a black man is not. They not standing on the same. You know, white man is on a pedestal right now. So let's hop into these curses. Give me 28:15. And I'm trying to make it quick because you know it's hard to listen to something for a long time if you're not really interested. So I'm gonna try and make it quick and sweet. Come.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So that verse said if you don't keep the commandments, you're going to be cursed. And it tell you in the book of Daniel, I believe the 12th chapter, that we didn't keep the commandments. So the curses that we about to read to you, they was put upon us. They was put upon our people. So I'm going to show you the curses. And if them curses apply to you, by default, you would have to be God's chosen people. So that's how we know that we Israelites. Just go to 68. Yeah. Get that in Exodus 20. Con. So, hey, so have you ever heard of the transatlantic slave trade? You never heard of the transatlantic slave trade? They taught me that in school. How old are you? 19? You probably wasn't listening. Yeah. Okay, so the reason why I said transatlantic was they crossed the transatlantic ocean to deliver slaves to America from the west coast of Africa. So our forefathers was in slavery. Could you agree to that? Con. So I'm going to show you that that's documented in the Bible, that it would happen to the Israelites. So by default, that happening to the Israelites and that happening to us, that would mean that we Israelites. You see what I'm saying? That kind of makes sense? So check this out.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Hey, he said he would bring you into Egypt again with ships. Now, I'm going to show you what the word Egypt mean in the Bible, because the word Egypt is a word referenced as captivity or slavery. You know what I'm saying? Because Moses delivered us out of Egypt. That's what Moses was sent to do. He was sent to deliver us out of Egypt. So he's saying we're going to go into Egypt again with ships. Now, I read the Bible. When I read the Bible, I never see the Israelites go back into captivity again with ships. So this is talking about something I don't know. But when you read this verse, it's going to clear it up.
It's the book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. This is the book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, which hath brought me out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt is known as the house of bondage, the house of slavery. And we know that we was in slavery in Egypt, but he said, I was going to bring you into Egypt again with ships. But that we never see that happen. So this is talking about a future prophecy, and I'm going to show you how this is linking up to us today. Come on, read that from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Hey, so what nation of people went into Egypt or slavery with ships? We already went through it. We the ones who went into slavery with ships. We came to America on ships and we got sold on auction blocks. We the ones who went into slavery via ships. A lot of people can't say that. Only so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called natives can actually say that. Hey, everybody can't say this relate to them. Come on, read that again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Hey, and he told you this was going to happen. Come on.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Hey, and he said you should not see it no more again. After this last slavery, we wouldn't see slavery again. Because after we get out of America, that's where we raise up our kingdom. And we're going to have dominion over all the other nations. Somebody give me that in Psalms 2 and 8. Give me that in Psalms 2 and 8. And there's plenty of precepts to back up what I'm saying. There's plenty of verses in the Bible to back up what I'm saying. Get that in Psalms chapter 2, verse 8. Yeah, that's what I want.
This is Psalms chapter 2, verse 8.
Hey, and so when everybody say God is all love, you know, it don't link up with the Bible. Read this. If God loved everybody, why would he say this?
Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance.
You know what an inheritance is? It's like, you know, something that's passed down. It's something that you own. He said, I will give you heathen for your inheritance. I'm gonna give you a possession, and them possession is gonna be men. So just how we was possessed here in America as, you know, property, that's how we gonna deal over these other nations. We actually gonna have other people under our foot. Like, hey, you know, fan me with that leaf. Feed me them grapes. You know, hey, you know what? Go pick up the, you know, go get me a net and catch all the fish out the ocean. Hey, man, I just want to see you work. Do something, you know, make something happen. And if they don't, it tell you in Sirach that be not ashamed to beat your slave. Real shit. So let's go back over here. Hey, sometimes you gotta, it be like that. It's real talk, bro. Come on.
By way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold to your enemies.
Shall be sold to who?
And to your enemies.
And when we came over here, we were sold unto so-called white people. So by default, white people would have to be our enemies. It ain't no way around it. They are your enemies. And the Most High said that them same people that put you in captivity, you're going to put them in captivity. Now somebody give me Revelations. Just to prove what I'm saying. You know, you can't just believe it. I got to show you. Read that.
It's the book of Revelation.
So you know Revelation, the last book of the Bible. It's a very deep book, but this is plain and clear. Read that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse, start at verse 9. Verse 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity.
So he that leadeth into captivity, a person or a nation of people that leads other people into captivity, what?
Shall go into captivity.
So if they lead a nation of people into captivity, according to the Bible, you got to go into captivity. Come on.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Kind. So they killed us with the sword. But hey, you see it all throughout history. They feeding us to alligators. They hanging us up on trees. You know, you got all of these atrocities. Hey, slavery still haven't ended. We getting gunned down and shot down in the street day to day. You know, ain't nothing changed. But now it's more of a spiritual captivity than a physical captivity. You know, they don't do it how they did it, but they still doing it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and then what they want you to feel like is that you're free. So here in America, they promote that, you know, when you come to America, you're free. You can be who you want to be. You can come as you are. You can come to America and be great. That's what they promote. But on the inside, it's all full of wickedness, iniquities, and you got Illuminati, you got the elites, you got all of these higher up people that set up this nation, or set up this kingdom. Perfect word. That set up this kingdom to be how they want you to see it like that. But it's not really like that, because you still looked at like a nigga. You know, that's why I can talk to you like this, and it makes sense. Like, you know, I ain't never seen nobody come out of the Bible and say that. That makes sense. I can tell it's kind of making sense, right? It ain't like I'm just like, hey, bro, you know, God is all love. But I'm showing you right here that we're gonna have people under subjection to us. Go back to Deuteronomy.
It says, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen.
Hey, and when we came here, a bondman is a slave man. So when we came here, we was forced to be slave men, bondmen. Come on.
And bondwomen.
Slave women.
And no man shall buy you.
And when we came to America, yes, we were sold on auction blocks. But when it says buy you right there, if you go into the Hebrew, it means redeem. No man has came and redeemed us out of captivity. Now you had certain men set up who attempted to do that, but they could never do it. Like Martin Luther King, like Malcolm X. You had men who try and redeem us out of slavery, but they never did. Because we still right here in our oppressor's land. And are in their hand, you know. So by default, I'm showing you one of the small things that I'm proving. This should help you think. If you're not fully convinced, we can go through more curses, but this should convince you a little bit. This is a seed I'm hoping to plant in your head, because a lot of times when I tell people this, or we tell people this, they don't get it all at once. So it's not like, hey, bro, you an Israelite. If you don't say you an Israelite, I'm gonna shoot you. But bro, hopefully you understand that I'm spitting to you and showing you, bro, you're an Israelite according to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, whether you like it or not, the Most High, he dealing with you however he want to deal with you. All I'm supposed to do is tell you. If you want to run with it and you come on outside, next thing you know, we teaching more people. Each one teach one. You can get down like that, but if you're not, you know, we understand sometimes, you know, sometimes the Most High got his own things. He tell you everybody ain't gonna get down with it like that. So that's just one small thing, you know, but do that make sense, kinda? So that was a curse put upon our people. And when we look through history, that happened to Negroes, that happened to Hispanics, that happened to natives. So by default, we would have to be Israelites.
Teach, Doc, teach.
So, give me another curse. Give me 16. I grab 54. You grab 54. So when you read the book of Deuteronomy, it's curses that was put upon God's chosen people, and we going through them curses day to day. Read that. 54.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
And we know we got a lot of niggas, and we'll just say it like this: a lot of people that's niggas, they soft, bro. They tender.
Right.
They real sweet, bro. They act all hard, but they real soft.
Right.
And this is what they do. Read this.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Hey, and when it says his eye shall be evil towards his brother, it mean, you know, he don't really love you, bro. They're like, bro, you my nigga, bro, I die for you, I do all this. But really, they snaking you behind your back.
right.
Really, when you leave the house, they in your window climbing in, taking your TV type shit. So our brothers, their eye is evil towards each other. Hey, you see a brother, a regular brother walking and y'all walk past each other, y'all damn near looking at each other like, nigga, stop looking at me type shit. That's how our brothers is. Because that's a curse that's put upon our people. Now, when white men walk past each other, they're like, hey, buddy, how's your day going? You know, I got this new business. Here's a flyer type shit, you know? But with our people, it's like, bro, don't you even look at me, bro, you know? On my mama, I spaz out type shit. But that's how you know that we fit the curses. Come on.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom.
Hey, and you know how white men treat their women. A lot of times they deal with them. They're like, you know, babe, I love you. You know, I'm never going to leave you. But our men, we like, bitch, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? We always verbally, mentally, and physically abusing our women.
Time.
You know, we don't deal with them how we supposed to. Come on.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
And our eye is evil towards our kids, towards our children, which he shall what? Leave. So a lot of our men, hey, when you think about that, that's all it's saying is that your eye gonna be evil towards your children, bro, and you gonna leave them. And we known for being deadbeat dads. We known for growing up in single parent households. Did you grow up with your father? Let's see. You did? Hey, so you blessed. A lot of men don't have another man or a father figure to look up to. We got to look up to our mom to be the mom and the dad. But that's a curse. So a lot of people in our nation grew up without a dad. And they just show you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives fit these curses. White men, they fathers leaving them businesses, leaving them heritages, setting them up nice, leaving them with an account with millions in it, with some land, with a business, you know. Kind. So we don't have that because of what our forefathers did. We're gonna put it like that. Somebody give me that in Lamentations. I think it's 5 and 7. Lamentations 5. I think it's 5 and 7. We're gonna be here all day. It's in between Ezekiel and I believe Jeremiah.
Yeah, it's right after Jeremiah.
It's right after Jeremiah?
What is that?
There it is. Now, let me check that real quick. Let me fact check that. Go to 5. Chapter 5.
Fact.
7. Yeah, that's what I want. 5 and 7. All right, hold on. Dang, brother. All right, check this out. Hey, and we have fun up here. We can have fun, crack jokes. But all jokes aside, we got to get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding too. So you got to find that balance. Because you don't want to be up here all day and everybody, you know, robots. But check this out real quick.
This is Lamentations chapter 5, verse 7. Our fathers have sinned.
Hey, our fathers have sinned. Our forefathers sinned. And what happened?
And are not. And we have borne their iniquities.
Meaning so the sins that you commit, you got to get chastised. You got to get punished for it. But when our fathers sinned, they got chastised for it, but we got even more punished for it. Hey, just like if you a deadbeat dad, you gonna pay for it for not being a shit nigga, but your kids gonna pay for it even more, cause you not there to show them how to be a man. So the Most High had to chasten us and put us into slavery to show us like, hey nigga, you better not fuck up type shit. Just like if you have a son, hey, if you don't chasten him and show him right from wrong, you really don't love him. So you gotta show your son how he's supposed to be. You can't really love your son and tell him he can be gay. You know, do you really love your son if you telling him to do something that's wrong? Hey bro, you know, smoke all the weed you want, sell drugs to your people, you know, fuck all the hoes you can, you know, that's what's good. That's the only thing going. You don't really love your son. You don't really love your son if you tell him that. Now, if you raise up your son, you like, look, man, you gotta do right. You gotta know what's right and wrong. You gotta keep the commandments. You gotta put food on the table for your family. You know, you gotta be the protector. You gotta stand up strong for the Most High. Hey, you can't flinch when shit start going wrong. It's all of the Most High. You gotta really be rocking for the Most High. You gotta really be going hard for your family. You gotta really keep these commandments. That's how I'm gonna raise up my son. You gotta know what's right and what's wrong. You can't have one bad day and start doing this, son. You gotta gird up your loins. That's what it tell you in the book of Job. You gotta gird up your loins and show yourself a man. And you know, if you ain't got money, you ain't shit. That's not what a man is supposed to put food on the family, on the table for the family. But a man is supposed to show you what's right from wrong. A man is supposed to be that spiritual support system for his family.
Right.
You the team captain. You know what I'm saying? You got to make them plays. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just be out here sucking kunim and jiving and playing around with this shit. You got to really know what's going on in the world. We look at history. We look at the present history. We looking at shit that's supposed to come to pass and link it up with prophecy. We doing these things for the betterment of our nation, for the betterment of ourselves, the betterment of our family. Hey, we gotta make this. We gotta be proactive, bro. A lot of people want to see black people be proactive, but when we out here being proactive, they're like, you know, these niggas, ha ha ha, you know, what the fuck is they really doing? These guys are reading out of the Bible. But when you start seeing these things in the Bible coming to pass, they're like, oh shit, you know, what was you trying to tell me? You said I'm an Israelite. We gonna be like, yeah, bro, and we ain't gonna be out here no more, because all hell gonna be breaking loose. World War III is prophesied in the Bible. And you got all of these wars and rumors of wars, and God is stirring up the minds of these other nations and these other political leaders. Hey, all hell is about to break loose. World War III, like I said, is prophesied. Nukes is prophesied in the Bible. But I'm not going to dive into all of that right now, because you got to get the foundation. Somebody give me 2 Peter 2:2. So when it comes to the Bible, it's literally levels to this shit. It's literally levels to it, bro. The Bible's so deep, you would get lost trying to get all that wisdom. So you got to deal with the basics, bro. And I'm going to show you what the basics is. Read this.
It's the book of 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2.
Come on.
And many shall follow their percussion.
Slakia. What's that?
What?
Oh, Slakia. 1 Peter 2:2. I said 2 Peter 2:2. Salak.
No.
You said you 19? What school you go to down here? Called Albert? Did you oop? Nah, you're a pretty boy. Johnson, huh? Ah! All right, so like, read that. Yeah, that's what I want.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2.
Come on.
As newborn babes,
Come on.
As newborn babes desire
the sincere
milk of the word.
So he told you, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word. So a baby, when it come out of the womb, do you feed that motherfucker chicken? You can't, hey, bite this. You can't feed them no steak. You know, you feed them, you know, corn. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You're going to kill that baby. So, hey, when you come into this truth, you come into the Bible and you're trying to understand it, you got to start off with the sincere milk of the word. So the milk, just like you would feel the baby, is something small that builds you up. It's something that feeds you with the correct nutrients. I'll use that word, nutrients, to help that you'll be able to digest and build you up. You know what I'm saying? So through the Spirit, when you reading the Bible, you gotta feed yourself with stuff that's gonna build you up for later. So you can't go into Revelations and start breaking it down. You gotta get the sincere milk. You gotta understand first that the Bible was written by Israelites to give them a historical documentation that they are Israelites too. You gotta understand first that you an Israelite and that the Bible was written by Israelites to other Israelites. You know what I'm saying? The Bible wasn't written to everybody. It was only written for the Israelites. So they'll be able to wake up in the last days and know what's required of them. So you got to know you're an Israelite. You got to know you got to keep commandments. You know, you got to know that Yahushua is real and that he did die on the cross for you. You know what I'm saying? So certain things like that. But jumping into all of these deep prophecies, hey, that'll come later once you season.